First, before I even get started on this story, I have to give a huge shout out to Seiji Hito because he was the very first person I actually saw do a commentary on the story that I'm bringing to you now. Now, this story was actually, this incident that I'm about to talk about happened on May 3rd. It is currently May 12th. We're talking 9 days later. 9 days later, when this story from me is actually being reported. The article that I'm going to read from was posted on May 10th, which was 2 days ago, and 7 days after the incident happened. When Seiji Hito did his commentary about this, it was sometime, I would say, late last week. So you're telling me that a person who has no ties to a major media network was able to pick up this story and give it to an audience before lamestream media got a hold of it, especially with the context of what the story entailed. When I get through this story, you'll understand exactly why I said that. So basically, to give you a summary of the story, you have this boy right here on your screen and his mother just recently graduated from high school in North Carolina, I believe. And there was a lynch mob. Let's just call it what it is. It was a lynch mob that came to his house under the assumption that this girl that they were looking for was at his residence. At least that's the story that they're giving. I'm going to stop right there and go ahead and read the article. Now, of course, if any of you, and I know some of you are, who are subscribed to Seiji Hito, y'all have already seen the story. So you already know what I'm about to discuss. It says, a sheriff's deputy in North Carolina is facing criminal charges after authorities say he led a group of armed people to the wrong home in a search for a missing girl. Now, the important words there is a sheriff's deputy. And I'm going to show you his picture eventually after I get done reading this article. This damn thing keeps going off because it's voice sensitive. But a sheriff's deputy, meaning somebody who works for the department, led this mob. I'm sure by now many of you have already seen and heard this story. If you subscribe to Seiji Hito, that's probably who you heard it from. That's who I heard it from first. And usually, me and him report some of the same stories. He sometimes reports some stories that I don't, and vice versa. But this one had me intrigued, very much so. And I actually told him in the chat while his video was premiering, I said, this is the first time I've heard this story. So I'm sitting here just like looking at it, and I said, this, especially on the location of where this happened, that doesn't surprise me in the least bit that this even happened. And then it reminded me so much of anything pre 1970s, 1960s in the South dealing with a black male. So basically, before I even get into the article, let me give you a little summary. So basically, what you have is this young boy in this picture, and that's his mother right there. And this happened in North Carolina. Just graduated from high school. And a lynch mob went to his house under the assumption that this missing girl was either there or he had some information about her going missing. Mind you, they ended up going to the wrong house. Story we've heard so many times. Think of the story I just did on Breonna Taylor and her boyfriend Kenneth Walker. Except it didn't go into that direction, thank God, like it did with that story. And I'm gonna leave it off right there and let the article do the speaking. A sheriff's deputy in North Carolina is facing criminal charges after authorities said he led a group of armed people to the wrong home in a search for a missing girl. Look at that. Sheriff's deputy, meaning the person who did it. And I'm going to show his picture. A sheriff's deputy, someone who worked for the department, did this. This wasn't some random person looking for this girl. This was a person who worked for the police department who did this. Now, when Seiji Hito was playing his video, it showed surveillance footage of a line of cars. Mind you, it's dark. It is dark outside when this is going on. A line of cars outside to come to this one residence. And this story right here is going to play right into why we keep saying that you have to protect and arm yourself. Because had that been an occurrence and the mother was able to protect herself, the guys on that other side of that door wouldn't have been so lucky to walk away with their lives intact, or at least without a flesh wound, I should say. New Hanover County District Attorney Ben Davis said Friday that Jordan Kita, who worked in the New Hanover Police Sheriff's Office, led an armed group to the home of Damian Shepard, who is the boy right here, a senior at Laney High School in Wilmington, on May 3rd. Now that was almost 2 Saturdays ago. According to James W. Lay, a lawyer for Shepard's family who was preparing a civil lawsuit. Shepard, who is black, says the all-white group tried unsuccessfully to force its way into the family's Pender County home about 20 miles north of Wilmington. His mother, Monica Shepard, who was the woman sitting next to him, told the group they should leave. This is why arm yourself. Like I said, if she was armed, this is Jordan Kita right here. The sheriff's deputy that led that mob to Damian Shepard's and his mother's home under the assumption that this girl that they're saying might be related to him actually was at, or he had information. Like I said, they just wanted to go inward hunting, and Damian Shepard just happened to be the one that was in their crosshairs that day. Luckily, they weren't able to get into the house, because had they, it would have turned into a bloodbath like someone mentioned into this article. Like I said, any Negro male would have done because he fit the description. And Damian Shepard could have been that one. All because he didn't know where this girl was. Meanwhile, she's been found safe. And who knows who she could have possibly been with. Now I wonder, would he have done this if it was a PC male under suspicion? Because based on the name of that they gave in the article for the person that used to live next door, that apparently no longer does, that sounds like that could have been another black male. But notice that he went out there with a whole mob of mainly PC men to go after one black male. They telling themselves every single time. But I'm glad that Damian Shepard and his mother are safe. And I hope they sue the pants not off only on that department, But definitely on this guy here, I'm talking about take him to the cleaners and wipe him out. All the way down to the lint in his pockets. The sides and the back pockets. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.